Now on Denver 7 News, home is where the heart is.
I couldn't sleep last night because I just kept waking up because I'm like, oh, the Broncos are playing today.
The Broncos are back at Empower Field playing at home for the first time this season.
This is going to be a monumental moment, and just in a way for me.
But the Texans won't give up without a fight as the Broncos try to prove themselves after a slow start in Seattle.
I believe in this football team, what we can do.
Our Denver 7 sports team is bringing you live coverage from Empower Field as the Broncos look to grab their first W.
We start off tonight with a live look at Empower Field where the Broncos are taking on the Texans for the first home game of the season. And right now, the Broncos are winning 13-9. It's about 10 minutes to go in the fourth. Thank you so much for watching Denver 7 News at 5. I'm Jacqueline Allen.
And I'm Brian Wang. Broncos country is out there in full force today, showing their team spirit for the home opener.
That's right, go Broncos. Denver 7's Christian Lopez met up with some of the team's most passionate fans, some of whom have been out there tailgating since the wee morning hours.
I couldn't sleep last night because I just kept waking up because I'm like, oh, the Broncos are playing today.
Playing at home for the first time this season.
We should have won that game.
And this team has worked hard, and it's going to be awesome to see them go out there in front of the home crowd.
These are some of the most dedicated fans I have ever met in my entire life. A lot of them lining up to tailgate bright and early this morning, telling me they could not sleep last night. They were so excited. Are you guys ready? Oh, fans lined up to tailgate hours before kickoff, bringing along their good luck charms.
Lucky Bronco socks. That I swap out every year, just to get some new, good juju headed our way or whatnot.
And continuing their traditions.
When I moved to this lot, we had 42 flags. That was in 2018. I've just continued to grow. Today we will fly 100 flags for the first time.
Good, man. Hey, let's do it.
We've got food and it's just a great place to meet new people. It's a great environment.
Go.
We just want everybody to come and be in the moment and get fired up for the game. And
yeah.
Woo! Fired up is an understatement. Reporting in Denver, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
Broncos leading right now in the fourth quarter. We got this. And our Broncos coverage doesn't end there.
As soon as this game is over, be sure to watch our post-game coverage right here on Denver 7. We'll have all the highlights from the game as well as a live report from Empower Field.
All right, and I have to say, we have perfect weather to get outside and tailgate.
Meteorologist Stacy Donaldson's here. Stacy, we got some big changes, though, coming in the next few days.
We really do. It's been gorgeous today. Temperatures in the 80s for our afternoon highs. Lots of sunshine here across the Front Range and the Eastern Plains with temperatures in the upper 80s out toward Ray and Burlington. 70s and 80s for the high country. Now, tonight in Denver, some beautiful weather on the way. Temperatures dropping into the 70s once we hit about 8 o'clock. But we are going to see a big change coming after the next couple of days. We'll hit 57 for a low tonight, but we're back to 90 degrees tomorrow with mostly sunny skies. And then a cold front comes our way. By the middle of this upcoming week, we'll have a huge drop in our afternoon high temperatures along with some much needed rain. I'll tell you exactly when that will be showing up in just a few minutes.
Stacy, thank you. All right, all new at 5, a warning from Brighton police about counterfeit pills circulating through the community. Police say they detected carfentanil in the pills, which is a synthetic opioid, 100 times more potent than fentanyl. The pills are rainbow colored and have an M30 marking on them. If you come across any of these, please call 911.
Nevada police are investigating after a driver hit and killed a child on an e-scooter last night. This happened just before 8 last night near the intersection of Indiana Street and Candlelist Parkway. Police say the child was taken to the hospital but died from the injuries early this morning. That driver did remain on scene and is cooperating with investigators.
Now to the latest on that deadly midair plane crash from yesterday. Today, crews started to remove the wreckage from the crash sites in Niwot.
Denver 7's Veronica Acosta joins us live from there. And Veronica, you spoke to neighbors in that area today, still processing what happened in their backyards.
They were, and crews really worked on loading up all of that wreckage onto the back of trucks all morning long. Just 2 minutes or so, just 2 minutes ago, crews took that wreckage, they drove off with it, and like you mentioned, I spoke to those neighbors who told me they just cannot believe what happened yesterday. just 1 mile from where he lives.
These cottonwood trees right here will kind of hide it, but the plane came straight down overhead and just nosedived straight into the earth.
The crash happened right behind Sean Tuff's Longmont home, and while he's used to hearing and seeing planes fly by often,
there's always hobby planes in the air out here. We're between two hobby airports.
seeing two crash into each other Saturday morning was scary, to say the least.
Obviously one landing in your yard's a little shocking though. It didn't look like it was falling or tumbling. It looked like it was in just a free fall. It was a little bit of corkscrew, but it looked like it was okay to fly. There was no wings missing or anything like that. Yeah, it just went straight in the earth.
On Sunday, crews carefully picked up the pieces of what was left of one of those planes. The area still closed off by police tape. Another neighbor who lives right next to the crash site telling Denver 7 he was startled by how close it came to his home.
Super lucky. I mean, you never know, right? We feel very fortunate that no one in our family has got hurt.
Neighbors like Sean and Carl wishing the best for the victims' families.
That was 3 people with moms and dads and kids, and that's pretty tough.
So the Boulder County Coroner's Office is still working to positively ID those 3 people that were killed in that mid-air crash. We also know that the NTSB is still working on investigating what exactly led to that crash also. We're in Longmont tonight. I'm Veronica Costa, Denver 7.
A lot of questions. Thank you, Veronica. And take a look at this damage on this RV overnight. West Metro Fire says it happened at Soda Lakes Lodge. This is near Lakewood's Bear Creek Lake Park. Firefighters reported they could see flames up to a mile away. And they say the fire started after some fuel spilled while refueling a generator. The gas ignited when the generator backfired. Now, fortunately, no one was hurt.
Now to a traffic alert in the Denver Metro. There's a new highway construction project that could cause delays during the work week for a long time to come. The project is along the E470 tollway north of I-70. Crews are adding a 3rd lane to an 11-mile stretch of the toll road between I-70 and 104th Avenue. The work will go on for the next few years with an expected completion date of sometime in 2025.
The Colorado Department of Transportation has some lofty goals for the next 10 years thanks to some new funding this year from the state legislature. The updated plan includes the continuing expansion of I-25 North, improvements to I-70 at Floyd Hill and into the High Country, and also replacing some bridges on I-70 and I-270 here in the Denver Metro.
The federal government is giving $100 million to Colorado for more improvements to I-70 on the way to the High Country. CDOT will spend the money on an 8-mile stretch of I-70 from Evergreen to Idaho Springs. The work includes adding a 3rd westbound lane to create a frontage road connection and making a new ramp from US 6 to eastbound I-70. The project will also focus on improving the Clear Creek Greenway with wildlife crossings, adding electric vehicle charging stations and more shuttle parking lots.
A crime spree to warn you about targeting cars. Dozens of cars were broken into Labor Day weekend at a southeast Denver apartment complex.
People living there tell Denver 7's Amy Wadas that the property manager could have prevented all of this.
Residents we spoke with are blaming what happened on the former property manager of Access at 9 Mile Station Apartments, which is in Denver's Kennedy neighborhood, because they kept the building and parking garage entrances open through Labor Day weekend. 2 couples told us around 7 cars in their parking garage were broken into, as well as many other vehicles in other parking garages in their complex. Car break-in after car break-in. That's what happened to multiple families who live at Access at 9 Mile Station. This couple was one of the victims.
It's that feeling of being violated.
Randy and Roberta are still traumatized after their Honda CR-V was broken into.
They actually tried to steal our entire vehicle. They ruined the ignition switch and underneath the steering wheel.
The perpetrator did not manage to steal the SUV, but they did get away with tools and equipment the couple uses for their pet grooming business.
Scissors,
Dremels, scissors,
clippers, just anything.
They just took all the boxes that we had in there.
All of those tools were given to me from my dad before he passed away in '04, and so that is very hurtful.
They got most of the car fixed, costing them around $1,200, saying this wouldn't have happened if their former property manager, Larimar, would have kept their parking garage secure. On September 2nd, the apartment complex sent out this email to residents saying there was an internet outage in the office, so there was no fob, internet, or phone access, and will keep the building and garage entrances open throughout the long weekend. Randy and Roberta say the car break-ins happened sometime in the evening between September 4th and September 5th. On September 7th, the community manager sent out another email saying that the fob system malfunctioned and is not operational, so the garage and entry doors must remain open. The system is back up and running now, but residents say that doesn't make them feel any better. Joe and his wife Brittany say they have $4,300 worth of damage to their GMC Acadia.
They drilled a hole into the actual door panel itself so that they could reach in and manually make the lock pop up. So went through that stuff, you know, they stole some things out of the car as well.
What adds to the confusion, the building was just sold on September 15th and is now being managed by Greystar, and Phil Larimer doesn't want to help them.
They told us they're not going to be held responsible at all for it.
Randy says he hasn't had luck with Larimar either and just wants their former property manager to do something to help everyone affected by this crime spree.
I'm not only doing this for us, I'm doing this for all of us. I'm doing this for everybody.
Wow. All right, still to come, President Biden makes his way overseas to London. How he and hundreds of other heads of state are paying tribute to Queen Elizabeth.
Plus, a new world record set right here in Colorado where you can try out the world's longest hopscotch course. Next.